Hey guys, it's Aaron. Welcome to the Afterschool Pandemic Journals. We've recorded over 1.5 years of content throughout the pandemic and weren't really able to release any of the episodes due to quality issues. Just to let you know though, some of these early recordings are a little bit wonky and a little bit shitty. Now, we want to release a clip show to you guys, to our loyal listeners and fans, to provide you guys with more content. Let us know what you think, rate, and subscribe. Well, before we get into the topic today...
What is the topic?
I will let you know. Shows that shouldn't have left the elevator pitch when the people were pitching it to them. Sitcoms that lasted an episode or a season. They were just... Not all of them. Some of them, and I know the ones that John's going to be talking about, are actually pretty good. The ones that I researched are fucking terrible. And let's just say one is about good old Adolf Hitler, and another one's about a mother being a car. But
let us begin. Let us get into the class session right now. School's in, kids.
Hell yeah!
So I got.
Oh, go ahead, John.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say go ahead. I was gonna introduce. Well, you kind of know what you're talking about. You know what? You're the teacher.
All right, class. So today's first lesson in failed sitcoms. This one isn't technically a sitcom, it's a cartoon. The Amazing Screw-On Head, which came from the brains of Mike Mignola, who you might know from Hellboy fame. It was around a character, a robot, the Amazing Screw-On Head, who worked for Washington, D.C. as a secret agent of Abraham Lincoln. And he would go on these different cases, and his power was his head could screw off and screw on to different bodies that had a la Inspector Gadget, like different type of things. Each body could do something different. And he had special modifications and abilities, and he was there to defend against supernatural threats to national security. If you want to watch this show, it's on YouTube. You can watch the pilot on YouTube. And what made this show good was the voice casting. We always talk about that. The voice casting can make or break a show. This one had Paul Giamatti, David Hyde Pierce from Frasier fame, Patton Oswalt, and Molly Shannon from SNL fame. Saturday Night Live, yeah. So it was a whole lot of fun. The show pretty much was in the style of Mike Mignola's art from Hellboy, and really weird looking show. And he fought against Dr. Zombie, who was like this zombie villain who zombie doctor. I think that's what it was, Dr. Zombie.
I think it's Emperor Zombie.
Emperor Zombie. There you go. And they would fight constantly. So that was that. So if, like I said, if people want to watch it, it's on YouTube. I mean, I like Mike Mignola's art. You know, I've always been fascinated by it. He also did what was the other artwork he did that blew me away? We've talked about this before, Aaron. Freakazoid is a knockoff of it.
No. Because I have like all of the comics. Shit. It is, oh, come on.
It's right there, dude.
I have
it's
the comics
right
are right here. Oh, why am I such an asswipe? Here we go. Oh. Madman.
Yeah,
yes. Madman.
So
Don,
yeah,
just make sure you take out all that stuff. I forgot what Madman was. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
I like when we fuck up. We seem more human.
Yes. So yeah.
You don't ever fuck up, Don. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's not like I'm editing that out or anything.
Perfect.
You're right.
Yeah, no, the Madman, because I have a couple Madman comic books, but I also have the Hellboy. Mike Mignola too. This is besides the point, but him as an artist, he draws like every single day, and he sells that shit, I think, on eBay.
Yes. I love his art, man.
So do I. I think it's fucking great.
I watched this Hellboy animated series, movies too, and I mean, they're just beautiful. And he uses the same voice cast from
the movies.
Yeah. which I can appreciate. And the same director.
No offense, David Harbour, but Ron Perlman, he'll always be my Hellboy.
Always, man, always. And you know what, man? Like, I watched that Hellboy, and the only segment that I like, spoiler alert, is when he's in Mexico. That's the only portion of that movie I like.
I never saw it. I'll probably end up watching it tonight.
It's not good.
Okay.
But it's a no offense to David Harbour. Like, David Harbour did a good job, but it wasn't how can I put this? It wasn't our Hellboy.
Yeah.
When the one we were introduced to. This one was more raunchy. It was meant to be geared towards adults. Everybody's trying to follow in the Deadpool type of filming where you get a lot of cussing and fussing and complaining and bitching and all kinds of shit to get people interested in the film. You're not going to copy the Deadpool thing. I'm sorry. Deadpool is meant to be that way.
Yeah.
No other comic is going to come close to that. And I noticed that a lot of films want to try and do that. You're not going to get that same recipe. It's almost like when they came out with New Coke. Sorry, just leave. What the hell were you thinking? So,
or Crystal Pepsi?
Crystal Pepsi, yes. Crystal Pepsi. And I like Crystal Pepsi. That's crazy. I remember when it came out. I've
never had it, and I am assuming that it tastes like Sprite, maybe?
All it was Sprite.
Yeah.
Somebody was just getting Sprite bottles and pouring it in a Crystal Pepsi bottle. That's all it was. All right, so that's enough of my rant. But my next one is 1999's Heat Vision and Jack. So it was one of the first failed pilots that leaked and gained a following. Like many others, it's the sort of show that's, in retrospect, could have been a huge hit, but seemed too risky and off-kilter to the studios. This one had starred Jack Black as an astronaut and Owen Wilson as the voice of his talking motorcycle, Heat Vision.
This was it written by Dan or created by Dan Harmon and Ben Stiller, or was it, because there were a couple people there, Rob Schraub, who is a writer on Rick and Morty and is kind of a part of that group with Community. I know they had something to do with it as well.
It was written by currently TV icon Dan Harmon, and directed by Ben Stiller.
Yep.
So this looked like a show that could have been a part of the Eric Andre show, if you know what that is, or Rick and Morty world.
Yep.
So
they thought this thing was going to take off. A lot of them hedged their bets on this show, and then a couple years, 2000? I want to say 2006 or maybe 2009. Community kind of blew up, the show Community, and that's kind of what took Dan Harmon to stardom.
But what is our fascination with talking vehicles? Is it from Knight Rider that people have a fascination, or is it from My Mom the Car, which is an excellent segue.
Segue into the next one, which is the one that I watched. I think it has something to do with, these things were created, and I don't know. Where does one's soul go when you perish from this? You shed your mortal coil into a car, into some object. Does your existence break down on a molecular level and just enter things willy-nilly?
Your spiritual essence.
Exactly. Your energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So where does this energy go? Because you are full of energy.
Whoa.
I'm not talking about cum. Full of energy. And I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that could honestly have something to do with some type of paranoia that, like, when I walk outside, I get the feeling that my car wants to run me over or something because I don't get it an oil change, every 3,000 fucking miles.
You think you will want your car to talk to you, though? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sloppy with my car.
I was going to say the same. It's like you're farting on my seats all the time.
Damn it, I was just about to say that.
Man, my farts are baked in my car. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, your car would be bitching about you farting in it and the fact that there's fossilized fries under the seats.
Oh, yeah. I got 2 little ones. There's a fucking candy stuck to the walls of that fucking car. Yeah, no, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the fascination is because it even probably started before that. I think, you look at ancient texts.
You mean like the chariots and shit? Like the chariots in ancient Egypt?
Yeah. It's like, oh, wow, that chariot can talk, when in reality it was just a cat meowing underneath the fucking tire that it was crushing a cat.
Oh, yeah.
What about like a talking horse and buggy? What the fuck do you think that was?
What, like a Mr. Ed thing?
Mr. Ed or Francis the talking mule.
Wait, is the buggy talking or the horse? It's probably the buggy, right?
Well, you wouldn't know
bitching
because
at
the
horse,
horses.
like, come on. I don't know why I gotta.
That would be an excellent show.
There you go.
Shot in a Green Acres type of film. So it's like
you need to get that farmhand away from me. He keeps doing things to me that aren't good.
The horse in the cart. The horse in the cart.
Yeah.
Putting the horse before the cart. We could write a sitcom for that. The cart and the horse are like best friends.
But what if the cart was racist and the horse was like always had to
woke?
Always, had to explain to people like don't take offense. He was just raised in a different era, like always.
He's cut from a different type of wood.
Show.
He's cut from a different type of wood.
Yeah. Oh my god, that redwood.
So that would be like a BoJack Horseman type horse with an Archie Bunker type cart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy shit! I think we just came up with a
and
show.
Of course, the horse is like it's his servant has got to take him everywhere. He's always carrying him around, and the horse finally is
another
like, you're
failed
nothing
sitcom
me.
in the making.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're coming up with failed sitcoms.
Yeah,
that would be
actually,
great.
I think that would be that could be made today.
Yeah.
That
would be a show that somebody's going to steal listening to this, and we'll be watching it later on. Like, I could have swore we were the ones that came up with that. So
Jesus Christ!
Make sure you keep this in the podcast so we have it for posterity.
I got a lot of half-baked ideas. Oh, that's just one of them. Sure.
But what is it? Boss Baby stole my idea, kind of.
Boss Babies?
The movie, yeah.
It
was going to be a baby lawyer.
Yes, that would be awesome.
That's
baby
made?
lawyer.
No, well, Boss Baby technically, but it's like it's a lawyer that is a baby, but
Yes.
it kind of I wouldn't know where I would take it. It's like he has a bottle in his briefcase and whatnot. He knows the law. He studied the law for the whatever year he's been alive, and
almost a Doogie Howser baby.
Yeah, kinda. And he's just practicing. Yeah, it's kind of like a Boston Legal, except it's a baby.
Well, how about this?
Like he takes a poop when he's given the deposition. Like, oh wait a minute.
He strains. Yep.
So what about the baby? Previous life was a Perry Mason type lawyer, and because he was such a shitty individual, he was reincarnated as this baby lawyer, and his partner has to bring him into the court to help him practice these cases.
Is his partner his mother?
His partner could be his mother or his dad or something like that. And
excuse me, Judge. Baby wants nem. And then she just pops open her shirt and.
Can we take a brief recession? Baby needs a nap time. Can we just? Can we? Yeah.
It
so
is my nap time.
Only one who can understand him is his partner, who would be his mother, who was a lawyer.
Oh no! See, that's what's the best part is that he speaks clear English. And he's very like, what is it?
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would be good, but then that offers the question of people trying to study him, like why?
Oh no! See, that's honestly when we go into the ones that I looked at, it doesn't matter. You don't need that. You don't need to ask those questions. Just believe that the baby knows the law.
Yeah, it's already established. The baby knows the law already. Okay, yeah. Screw it. Yeah.
So
This happens every day.
So the baby retains
yeah.
his consciousness as he goes through this reincarnation, we're saying? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, we could say that.
So he could tell you that being squeezed through a vagina was a really rough experience. Like, boy, I need a bottle after this one.
Yeah.
Like, he comes out the womb like, I could use a drink. That could be the intro.
Or, I don't know, we could have a sitcom about Hillary Clinton's dick.
Oh, well.
It's just, that's, you don't have to put that. I don't know.
You just woke up the red meat base. You're like, hell yeah, he's talking about what I'm talking about now.
She does got a dick. That was just too easy. I'm sorry.
Good.
Let me see here. Do you want me to, do you want to keep talking about,
Yeah, so who was the star of My Mother the Car?
do you want to go into My Mother the Car?
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Let's. So you would probably recognize the star, and the show My Mother the Car was written by James L. Brooks, a couple other people that are kind of big in the sitcom
Simpsons.
world. Yep.
James L. Brooks was
Which
Simpson, yeah.
makes sense that they would do the episode with Grandpa being the, what did you say?
Love-matic.
Yeah.
The Love-matic machine. That was back when The Simpsons was good. And they did the, Troy McClure was talking about all the spin-offs that could have happened. And it was one like, what do you get when Grandpa dies and he comes back as a Love-matic machine? You get the Love-matic Grandpa. And he was in the bar. He worked in the Love-matic was in the bar where Moe's Tavern. So he would give Moe dating advice.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Because Moe was talking to that one girl and he's like, are you really a brunette? And she's like, well, you'll find out tonight. And Love Track was like, ooh.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
My Mother the Car stars Jerry Van Dyke, who you probably know from the show Coach. Yep. And then Dick Van Dyke's brother. And so more or less the show is it's a fantasy sitcom. It aired in 1965 and it only lasted a season. And I don't think they showed... You know what? They did show all the episodes for the first season. I don't know if they re-upped for the second. It doesn't look like it. But more or less, this show, the premise is a man whose deceased mother is reincarnated as an antique car, a porter, and she communicates with him via the car radio. So... I watched this show, and I'm going through it, and they just jump right into it. Automatically, boom. Hey, my mother's a car. I'm looking for a new car for my family, and guess what? I found this porter, and my mother's in it. And that's it. And now they go on, like, there's one villain dude that's trying to buy the porter from him the entire time, which, let's see if I can pull up the cast here. So I think it's Captain Bernard Manzi is the guy that's more or less trying to get the porter from him, buy it off of him. I only watched the first episode, and I was just, I don't smoke weed anymore, so I was entirely not high enough for this show. And
I recognize this guy too, Avery Schreiber.
Yeah, he's been in a couple other things like comedic relief type thing, and to be honest, there were some good parts about it, but it was just like, I don't know, if my mom was my car, I've done so many terrible things in cars.
You can never get laid in it.
Yeah.
You can never get laid in it because she would turn on. I imagine My Mother the Car being like, what's that killer car in Christine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be my mom, like, cock blocking while I'm in the back of the car.
Jesus. Yeah, what is it? Dave Crabtree is like, Dave, what are you doing? Oh, shut up, Mom. I'm getting my dick sucked right now.
That's when she turns the exhaust on.
Yeah, exactly.
And starts to fumigate the cab.
And then everyone falls asleep, and then it looks like they killed themselves.
Jesus.
Go to sleep,
Yeah.
baby. Go to sleep, baby.
Well, I wanted to just go over the lyrics because the first thing that popped up was the theme song, and just go through it as quickly as I can here. Everybody knows in a second life, we all come back sooner or later. As anything from a pussycat to a man-eating alligator. Well, you all may think the story is more than... Oh, shit. Well, you all may think my story is more fiction than it's fact, but believe it or not, my mother dear decided she'd come back as a car. She's my very own guiding star, a 1928 Porter. That's my mother dear, 'cause she helps me through everything I do, and I'm glad she's near. My mother the car, my mother the car. This guy is a serial killer.
I wonder how, with that premise, how it failed.
Oh my God! Well, it almost seems like it's Disney, channel, old-timey Disney Channel. What's it? Don Knotts. As I can't remember the one where he's the fish. Like that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Oh, the fantastic Mr. I know which one you're talking about.
But like,
that's
to get into it, like what we were talking about, the baby lawyer. You could just believe it. Like this. It was kind of the same thing, so it's like you think back, like, can they just believe that this fucking woman became a car? It's like, why did she choose a car? Do they get into that? They never get into it. Why wasn't she a fucking microwave or a goddamn fridge? But instead she's a porter.
My mom the fridge.
And my mom the fridge.
That sounds like a linebacker.
Yeah.
My mom the fridge.
It's like a fat joke waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, the Incredible Mr. Limpet is the one
Yes.
with Don Knotts turning into the fish. Which, by the way, as a kid, that transformation scene always freaked me out.
Oh really?
Always freaked me out. Even though it was just him going from live action to animation.
Yeah.
It just freaked me out. Him spinning in a spiral.
Those
and
old
slowly-
Don Knotts movies were the fucking jam, man.
Yeah,
I know
the
some-
Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Oh my God.
You know what, man? I might be one of the only black dudes in the world that liked the Andy Griffith Show. Even though I know, like, if
you're stepping into white
if
territory there.
if I strode into Mayberry, they'd probably be like, it's back to where you came.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then that just always reminds me of what is it when The Simpsons did it, and it was Charles Bronson was like, "I'm going to Emmett's Fix-It shop to fix Emmett."
Yeah, The Simpsons have done it.
Oh.
They've been around so long.
They've done
they
almost every, but everyone's like, "Oh my God, the conspiracy theory is that The Simpsons predicted all this." And I'm like, no, they've just been around that long that they've done almost anything and everything under the sun. But yeah, that show, like Jerry Van Dyke is a pretty good actor. I understand why it didn't work, because if you do see some of it, you'd be like, okay, well, yeah, this could probably work. But then there's just awkward fucking like scenes in it between the husband and the wife, so the ending, if you do watch it, he tells his wife, like, oh, this guy just wants more and more money, and it's 15, he wants 1,500 for the porter. And then she's like, what are you talking about? That can't be real. And then he's like knocking on the door and tells the guy, hey, you need to I'll give you the car for 1,500. You just got to do it in front of my wife. When he does that, then the wife is convinced that this car is special, even though this family is like what seems like, or what they say, they're broke. So I just don't understand the resolution at the end of it. And then I was like, okay, I need to be high for this. And
and I mean, how can she help you in daily? You would always have to go out to your car and talk to her to get the advice that's needed.
And then he puts a thing of flowers in her like gas tank area, which is in the front. And I'm like, well, couldn't that very well, you don't know if that's her vagina. Or could it be the tailpipe? And he's sticking in there. It's like, oh, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, you just
Mom, are you
destroyed. Yeah, Mom, are you all right? You just terrible.
Would the gas line be the genitals of a car? Like, yeah, what would the genitals of a car be?
So if we're going into the anatomy of the car,
Yeah, let's do that.
Wouldn't the gas tank be the mouth?
Or is the anus? Like, no.
Well,
yeah,
the
you're
anus
right.
is the tailpipe, I would
Yeah, you're
think.
right. What
the
am I
anus
thinking?
is the tailpipe.
Yeah.
The gas tank would be the mouth because you would be feeding the car through the gas
So
tank.
where is the pleasure spot? The oil? Where the oil goes?
The dipstick.
Dipstick
It's
into
in,
the oil.
it's in the name.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
And like,
the dipstick.
you know, all men
engine
and
would be the
women,
heart.
the dipstick is way too small for that hole.
The engine would be the heart. The wipers would be the tear ducts, I guess.
Okay, I follow you.
Yeah. But okay, so the eyes, is it the headlight or is it the windshield?
Are we going based on Disney cartoons, or are we going based on just like our own imagination? Because technically, the windows in the movie Cars. Real quick, I'm gonna get into this. That movie is so. My kids watched it over and over and over again, and it's so weird that this life of car, like everything is related to cars, and then you have the movie Planes.
Yes.
And it's all supposed to be a part of the same universe. So, you know, restaurants and I don't know, man. It just like it kind of fucked with my head. I was also, you know, smoking a lot of weed at the time. So I was just like,
hopper.
and I keep going back to the marijuana shit, but it's like the conspiracy theories around it, like, and it always goes back to like, what's their history? It had to have been a violent history. There's no humans around. Did the cars become sentient and just fucking eviscerate the human beings?
Yes. So I've seen this theory online where all the movies are supposedly tied together. All the Pixar movies and stuff like that. I've always assumed that those aren't real eyes in the cars.
Mm-hmm.
I always assume that those are Mike Wazowski's. They're all Mike Wazowski's from Monsters.
Just
The
one
little green-
big eye with two pupils.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think I've always thought that it's like two Mike Wazowskis sitting next to each other in each car. That's how they have two pupils. So if they ever open the car door, you would just see these green monsters.
I was going to
inside.
say, how do they procreate? Which, you know, we shouldn't probably be getting into this because people are just going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And it's
That's
just
a good point. Well, it has to be a way because maybe they go to the Ford plant and get busy,
yeah,
or they go to one of these car plants and they get bit. Don is looking like this is
Just-
intriguing.
Yeah, no, I'm all in.
It's just and then like,
Took a
you know,
Xanax.
did they have genocides? Do they have like uprisings and whatnot within their own? What's their government system looking like? Because if you look at Cars 2, you know, they still have a queen and whatnot. The queen's in that.
Yeah.
Okay, I have kids too, by the way. I'm not watching this on my own. So
The president of the interior which is funny because there is a president of the interior, but the president of the interior, as in car interior,
yeah,
is in which one? Planes, actually.
Planes. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, because that's the one with Dane Cook as Krusty Crophopper.
Dusty Crop Hopper.
Dusty Crophopper.
Is it sad that I know that?
Oh no, it's not sad because I'm right there with you. He's the one that wants to be the airplane that puts out fires.
In the second one, in the first one, he's a racing plane, which then that's a huge leap going from a racing plane to being a firefighter plane. And so last thing I'll say, and then we will get into the next one that I did is like, do they have, you know, with all the chip shortages and whatnot, do people die? Is there, I don't know, mass genocide? And to then segue into the last part of this, and the other thing that I researched is called Heil Honey, I'm Home, which is a sitcom about Adolf Hitler. And his girlfriend Eva Braun, and
Ooh, so a fun sitcom. Okay.
yeah, it's
Wow.
it's hilarious. I got to watch this. It's on YouTube if you wanted to see it, part 1 and 2. Heil Honey, I'm Home. It's a British sitcom, written by Jeff Atkinson and produced in 1990. It's canceled after 1 episode, so you never got to see part 2. You only saw part 1. It centers around Adolf Hitler, Eva Braun, who live next door to a Jewish couple named Arnie and Rosa Goldenstein. It's pretty Jewish. The show spoofs elements of mid 20th century American sitcoms. The creator kind of said, like, the reason why I made this was to make fun of sitcoms because Adolf and Eva talk in Brooklyn accents. And
What?
yeah.
What? And Brooklyn accents? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the whole plot of the first episode is that Adolf and Eva are getting ready to have British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain over. So more or less, if you know history at all, Hitler was a dictator, and he kind of tricked Neville a little bit back in the day when it came to what he was doing with his neighbors, I guess, in a sense, if you understand my what I'm hinting at. Wink, 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 wink,
Yeah,
wink.
so if people don't know the history of Hitler, he was just kind of like a trickster.
A failed artist, and he was angry, and he
Like
had
Loki.
he had tummy problems. He had tummy problems, and probably like most dictators, a small dick. And it was one of the worst shows I've ever seen. There's no, it's not even. You would see something like this on Tim and Eric. Tim and Eric? Awesome show, great job. As kind of like a joke thing related to it. And they probably do the whole episode, but they would at least have some weird or funny little quirks. This was just like a sitcom that had all the premises, the laugh track. They were putting in the laugh track where things weren't funny, and it was just all around just a bad show. Honestly, I would like. I think this would be hilarious if it was kind of built around something a little bit more, and kind of like brought up historical aspects and whatnot. And yeah, they bring in Neville Chamberlain, and I think maybe they were hoping for more. I guess there is possibly a whole season of this show. I don't see, because the thing is that the subject matter, yes, Hitler was a terrible human being, but making fun of sitcoms in general, I'm all for. This didn't do it. It was just bad. And like Arnie and the Jewish couple that's in it, like they're kind of played off as idiots, more or less, and like, well, I guess that's how Hitler looked at the chosen people. I guess, I don't know.
Atkinson maintains that the aim of the show was not to shock, but to examine the appeasement surrounding Hitler in 1938. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was like, because at that time, and if you ever get a chance, here, Don, I gotta bring up a book, because it talks. Just real quick, guys. I have a book that I'm recommending to everyone to listen. The audiobook's really good. It is. Come on, man. Why do I have to wait for everything for this fucking phone? Sorry, I hate my phone. I hate it so much. Okay, Eric Larson. So the book is In the Garden of Beasts, Love, Terror, and an American Family in Hitler's Berlin. That story basically tells about this family. They were, well, I'm not going to get too much into it, but if you want more historical fact and something interesting about the time that this sitcom takes place and the examination that this guy was trying to do, which literally he says that, but then he goes back and says something else, that it was like he was making fun of sitcoms and how they were. And then he goes and says, well, no, I was taking a look at Hitler. It's like, I love how a lot of these creatives pull back. It's like, believe in your fucking work. at the same time, you should just watch it just to watch it.
I will.
Because it is terrible. Like, the jokes aren't funny, and, you know, like, I don't know. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna touch on that. I was gonna put, like, even if they did some jokes related to it, it would make more sense and show the levity that people had with Hitler in 1938. No one saw him as, you know, Hitler we know today, vegan, fucking farty McFart pants. Like, he was farting all the time. He had bad gas.
He loved dogs.
Farty. He loved German Shepherds,
which he killed in the end.
Yeah, no, he gave them like something. And then I guess the whole series ends with them in a bunker killing themselves.
It actually got to end. It actually lasted a full.
Oh no. Damn. And he's on the phone with who he says, "Hey, Joey, what's going on, Joe? Hey, it's Joey Goebbels." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it, Joseph Goebbels."
Does everybody in the show have Brooklyn accents, or just Hitler?
No, everyone except for Neville Chamberlain. Neville Chamberlain has a British accent, but everyone, the Goldsteins, they have, like, you know, Brooklyn accents. Like, Ava, where's are we having schnitzel tonight? Like, they're talking about schnitzel. It's like talking in that accent.
That almost could have been funny if you would have told me that everybody in the cast had a German accent except for Hitler. Like, that would kind of,
I think it
stupid.
Everyone
funny.
had a Brooklyn accent except for Hitler. Hitler had the German, you know, I think the German but speaking English. That's always been funny to me. Like,
no, that's not as funny to me.
We're inviting Neville Chamberlain over today for dinner, and it's I don't know. I think that's
everybody
funnier
else
than
had Brooklyn accents.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Hitler had the Brooklyn accent.
Honey, why don't you just shut up and get into the oven?
Yeah, dame.
That's-
I don't know. Were they saying dames back in the 30s? I don't know, dude.
Dames?
Dames.
So dames?
Yeah, when did that go out of style?
I don't think the only people that
Dames.
say dames are like fucking 60-year-olds and fucking pederasses that hang outside of fucking public schools.
So, okay. Well, so dames. Do you think your granddad said dame? We should look
My
this up.
granddad?
Yeah,
No.
you think so?
No.
Is dame short? I just thought of this. Is dame short for madam? So that's where it came from?
Maybe.
Instead
Look
of
at this
saying madam.
dame.
Because you know humans like to shorten everything. So we just
Yeah,
said
it went
dame.
from dame to dime because dime 10, but dame was like the crooners, Sinatra, you know, all those guys that just loved women. What is that, patriarchy? You know, that whole thing. Just treating women like they're dames.
Like objects. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. If someone said it now, it would be a neckbeard that would say. Someone that wears a fedora and doesn't have a lot of hair on their chin.
It says
Tries to make-
dame, a woman of rank, station, or authority, such as the mistress of a household. I didn't think it.
Madam. A madam. So it's and a madam right now is,
Short
you know,
for dame,
like,
or dame short for madam. I was sort of right.
yeah, well, madams more or less have the connotation that they're head of a household of ladies of the evening or men of, I don't fucking know.
It says also an elderly woman, a matron woman, a classy dame.
Okay, so you're gonna start calling people dames?
Should I bring that back?
From the brink of death,
Oh, yeah.
COVID-19 kicked the shit out of me, but I am okay. It sucks though. You know, I was telling Don, I'm like, I could possibly get it again within 2 to 3 months. But you know, I won't.
Wow.
And cue the music. Yeah, we're talking liquid television today, ladies and gents, on Ass After School Special with me, your hostess with the mostest, Aroni, and then we got Staff Man and Double D. And yeah, so John, I think you and I knew more about this than Don did The fact I remember seeing it when I was a kid and seeing Beavis and Butthead for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Other shows on there like The Head, The Max, and Flux, and then there were other ones too, where like it was more or less a variety show for cartoons, like alternative cartoons.
You know, as I read the history of Liquid Television, this is back when MTV played music, and I don't even think you guys are going to get my audio because this damn thing isn't recording, but...
Shit.
Oh, great.
So,
off to a great start.
So when you guys end up posting this, it's like you're talking to someone who's not there.
No.
Story of my life. So anyway, as I read the history of Liquid TV, you know, this is back when MTV was at its finest. So, you know, they had their VJs and they played music, like legitimately played music. It wasn't Jersey Shore and
TRL was just a queef in the wind at that point.
Yeah. Pretty much, you could turn on MTV at about 8 or 9. This is when Liquid TV would start to come on. It ran for 3 seasons.
Who did it cater to? Like, what was the audience? Was it young people?
Oh, that was like grunge, dude. That was like
Liquid TV catered to that audience.
You would be so that would be your not Metallica,
Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Pavement and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
that totally went over. What's that?
Don, you would dig it, honestly. Like the way that the
my ears
animation
perked
was.
up. As soon as you say grunge, I'm like, oh, okay.
A.M. Flux is one of the shows we wanted to talk about. Its style was German surrealist.
Mm-hmm.
So, and see, that's what we were talking about before. I like those cartoons that are like off the beaten track. It's not traditional animation. Like the one animation style that I despise because it's so overused is Cal Arts. Cal Arts style of animation annoys me because everyone wants to use it. It was used in Gravity Falls. It was used
I love
in
that show.
No, I'm not saying Gravity Falls is bad. I love Gravity Falls, but the animation style is the same animation style. It's the same animation style that they use for Steven Universe. It's used for when they did the Thundercats revival, which was panned by fans. And then I'm trying to think of other cartoons. But anything that's on Cartoon Network right now has the Cal Arts School of Design.
Regular show.
Yeah, how would you
describe
regular
regular show is one of them too.
Yeah, regular show is another one. Like the characters have big eyes, you know, their smiles are like asymmetrical. It's
like the Simpsons,
it just annoys me. Well, no, Simpsons isn't Cal Arts, but it's I don't know, man. Like early Simpsons would have been like I like the squiggly lines. Like that would have early Simpsons kind of would have fit in on Liquid TV, but
Dr. Katz was another one, but that was like Comedy Central.
Comedy Central, Dr. Katz, the squiggly lines, and it's just, man, I really don't like that style of animation when it's overused over and over and over.
It's very circular, and the color style is very like dull colors. I agree with you, John. I do like sharp edges. I like, I'm a big fan of Akira. Like Japanese animation, Lupin the Third, and Cowboy Bebop, stuff like that. I like sharp, and then I also like colorful images. I can't say that.
Yeah, I like animation style like One Piece. You know, the anime, the Shonen Jumps. So you got your One Piece. You know, Dragon Ball Z. I like. It's another one that comes on Netflix.
Is it new? Is it the one about Greek mythology? That one?
Not that one. We did talk about that, but not
did.
that one. It's another one. I watched the first series. It's really good. It's about predators and prey that go to school together, and it's pretty much like Zootopia, but in an anime style, and it's a little more hardcore. So I liked it, man.
What would you describe a show like Rick and Morty then? What kind of style is that?
I don't know, man. Like Rick and Morty is kind of that hybrid between Simpsons and Cal Arts. Again, you have the characters that have those big round eyes and a lot of circular design within the animation. I and don't get me wrong, I like Rick and Morty. I think Rick and Morty is good, but it's just not something that I'm like, oh wow, I gotta watch this one. Like, you know, I don't know, man.
I like Rick and Morty too. I hate the fans.
Yeah. I guess that might be a good way of putting it. Like the fans is what really turned me.
What
off.
do the fans do?
The first thing that they say to you when you say you watch Rick and Morty, oh wow, you know, like that show is really smart. You must be, you know, like, or be like, this show's too smart for you. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's basic quantum physics. If you know what a black hole is, you know what the fuck that is. And then they get on like topics of how smart it is, and then there's a fucking drunk professor or a drunk mad scientist taking a shit on a floor. Like, how smart can it be?
Yeah.
But it's hilarious.
I know.
It's absolutely
to me,
hilarious.
it's about the content, man. You can have all the best animation and all that, but does it make me laugh and does it entertain me? That's what I'm looking for. Entertain my ass.
Tell you, the one thing that I really liked that came out, it was a limited series that came on Cartoon Network, and it was Over the Garden Wall. And that one was really good. Like, it used a lot of rotoscope, like the Betty Boop style of animation, and it was really good. I liked it. I also like the animation style in this game called Cupheads, the Max Flesher animation. If you've ever seen the Cupheads game, it's like a point and shoot.
Oh yeah, it's like old school Mickey Mouse and stuff.
Like Felix the
Mickey.
Cat, like Felix.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that style of animation, and you know, it was ahead of its time because I watched a old Betty Boop cartoon where they used oh my god, Cab Calloway for Minnie the Moocher, and they kind of rotoscoped his movements over this cartoon character. It was really before its time. It just amazed me how they did that.
The things or the shows on Liquid TV ahead of its time, like Beavis and Butthead, and
when it came to writing,
like Beavis and Butthead. Daria was another one. I don't know if that was Liquid Television.
It wasn't Liquid.
Daria.
It wasn't Liquid Television, but it was. Daria started on Beavis and Butthead, and then I'm not sure if Mike Judge was probably a producer on it, but they split it off where she had her own story. Beavis and Butthead were no longer a part of that, and that lasted a couple seasons. But I would have to say, you know, like audience comparatively from like Rick and Morty and some of the audiences today, even like South Park probably would have been with the Liquid TV guys, but
that's
Liquid
another group of people I don't like, man. I'm not a South Park. Yeah, I can't stand South Park fans, dude.
I think you either hate it or love it. I'm starting to realize. I thought everybody loved it, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like
from
South
all
Park.
generations. From I guess my brother, kind of, because he's a little older than me. He doesn't like South Park, and a lot of young people don't like South Park.
I think it's absolutely hilarious.
I do.
I mean, no, I think it's funny, but I think the topics are just a lot of. It's way more taboo. And I think what they try to do is they try to get that shock value, and it's dead now because, you know, the problem is that in our society, you have so many people who want to go over the top, and South Park was one of the originators of doing it. It's nothing they can do on there that can surprise me anymore.
I don't know.
So it's kind of like,
they've done so much.
It does do a lot, but, you know, they even went on record saying, you know, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, that they tried to do stuff to get them fired, but that's what makes it. That's what annoys me, but fascinates me at the same time, because it's almost like, Did you guys ever see the Spike Lee movie Bamboozle?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
you try to do something so outrageous to the producers to get you out of it, but the producers eat it up so bad that it becomes a hit. That's what South Park reminds me of. I'm not saying it's bamboozle, but it just reminds me of that of trying to do something so outrageous that, you know.
Well, I think Rick and Morty does the same thing. Even Dan Harmon has said that he's done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Liquid TV. So you said it spanned 3 seasons.
Yeah, 91 to 95, 3 seasons. And like I said, the 2 big shows on there was Beavis and Butthead, Aeon Flux. You know, we talked about the Max. The Max was really good. I like the Max.
Max was originally an Image comic that they created a cartoon show out of, which is basically a a purple beast-looking guy.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
No, a purple beast guy that lives with, is it his friend? I can't remember her name.
He lives with he's a homeless guy who lives with his counselor. And what ended up happening was he lives in 2 worlds. So in our world, he's homeless. But in the other world, he's like this warrior, and you know, he's kind of like fighting Mr. Gone, who's this guy who likes to rape and pillage, and it's really a fascinating storyline, and it's really dark too. It's really dark. You either love it or you hate it.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, but the concept that you just laid out sounds fucking interesting. And I thought about
it's a lot of spirit animal things in it. Julie is his counselor, and she's like, hey, you know, he's always rushing to protect her because in this world she's his his counselor, and in the other world she's like the Jaguar Queen or something like that. The other world is known as the quote unquote Outback. It's not like Australia Outback. It's just called the Outback, and it's where all these strange animals live at, and they're like, it's really off the wall, man. Like I loved it. Like I sat and watched it on YouTube while I was overseas, and I kind of just got hooked.
So if I have this straight, is this character that lives in 2 worlds simultaneously, or he chooses when he wants to live in one world?
It really depends. And Alan Moore had a hand in that, which kind of sucks now. I didn't know that. Yeah, Alan Moore wrote 21 of the comic books, I guess. So,
well, it kind of felt like an allegory, like of kind of the black experience, man. Like when they would, we, speaking as a black man, will go off to war or fight for the country, then you come back and you being treated so horrible.
Oh, dude, it's like it's you can almost call it like Vietnam. Like you know, they did and not to get too off topic, but they did a study that showed that it was more African Americans that joined the military and went off to Vietnam than any other, you know, ethnic race of
actually
people.
Join, not get drafted, but join.
Yeah, joined. I mean, some got drafted, some got drafted too, and some got joined. Some joined. Pretty much what it boiled down to was it was more blacks that went in because of the opportunities, but they got screwed over when they came back. And if you go a little bit further back in history, you know, they didn't want them joining the war because they didn't want them getting the mindset that they were better than them when they came back. Because a lot of guys who would go join the war, they came back, they had that uniform on, you know, they thought they were hot shit, but, you know, they got treated bad again. So, you know, that's that. But yeah.
Right, it's too deep for this podcast, but I mean, substitute black soldiers for just all soldiers, man. I mean, the way this country treats them.
You can almost, you know what this kind of reminds me of? This particular show almost is like Spawn. Because if you remember Spawn, that's right. he was a homeless vagrant. You know, like he would hang out in, what was it, Hell's Kitchen or wherever with the other homeless people, but he would also be a superhero as well.
Yep.
So
well, it's if Spawn hadn't got on HBO and Liquid Television was still around, it would have been on Liquid Television for sure.
Yeah. Spawn is another animated series that was really good. I like that animation style. It was very like raunchy because they did show like, you know, cartoon titties and shit on there. So
I have a side quest or a side topic real quick. Who's the richest black superhero? You just brought up Spawn, and we always
Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Yep.
I had a mind fart. Like, damn, it seems like every black superhero.
He's a fucking king.
That's right. That's right. Get it right. But I just for a second I got stuck. Like, damn, is every black superhero always coming from being a janitor or poor or?
There's I did a little research, and I think the oldest black superhero is a tie between Isaiah. I forget. Remember, I sent you guys that link. The original Super Soldier, the first black Captain America. So it's either him or Icon. They got to be the oldest because Icon is DC, and he was an alien who came to Earth during slavery times, and he turned himself into a black man and pretty much lived as a black slave and then used his superpowers, and he never aged. Eventually, he goes through everything everybody goes through, and he becomes this superhero. And he meets this girl named Rocket, and she becomes his sidekick, and you know, he becomes a part of the Republican Party and stuff like that. And it's fascinating because she's saying you don't need to be a part of that party, but he's like, well, I've lived through history. I've seen exactly what this party can do and all this stuff. It's really fascinating.
That is fascinating. So you got this guy who chose to be black, and during slavery.
He was an alien, so he came here and he took on that identity.
Damn.
And same thing like with John Jones. You know, John Jones came here and he took on that identity of a detective, and you know, he was solving cases like that, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
So,
man, that those kind of stories always fascinate me, man. That's I wish more of that was on TV.
So just to give you a little backstory, in 1839, an alien starliner malfunctioned and exploded, jettisoning a life pod in the middle of a cotton field in the American South. So think Clark Kent being sent to Kansas, but this alien got sent to the American South. The pod automatically altered the appearance of his passenger named Arnis to mimic the first sentient life form whom he discovered. That life form was an enslaved black woman named Miriam, who saw the pod crash and landed and adopted Arnis as her son. In the present, Arnis is still alive. He did not age visibly beyond adulthood. To disguise this fact, he periodically assumes the identity of his own son. By the late 20th century, he's posing as Augustus Freeman IV, the great-grandson of his original human identity. Still marooned, Arnis Freeman waits for Earth's technology to catch up to his life pod, secretly possessing superpowers that belly his human appearance. He also performed quiet acts of charity. However, when Freeman's house is broken into, he uses his power for the first time in decades, an action witnessed by a girl named Raquel Irvin, an idealistic teen who was born in Paris Island, the poorest, most gang-ridden neighborhood in Dakota City. Her prospects seem fairly bleak until the encounter with Freeman. After seeing Freeman use his powers, Raquel persuades him to become a superhero named Icon, and she names herself Rocket as her sidekick. So he's kind of like the black Superman, like, except he's, he's an alien that had to change forms while Kal-El is humanoid. So,
fucking speaking of aliens, I'm going to take us down a quick wormhole. I thought of Aaron yesterday. I saw like a news report I think
the monolith.
Well, that too. But
I think I know what you're talking about.
It was that
Israeli guy.
Yeah.
That was saying that there's a galactic, what is it? More or less a galactic UN or what is it? It's like a galactic empire that is in contact with Israel and the United States. Dude,
I only saw the headline that said official that says our current president. Oh yeah, he 100% knows that there's life out there. Like so I thought of you.
Hellier, I think he was a Secretary of Defense for Canada. Came out probably I think 2000, like somewhere in 2010, anywhere 2010 to 2014, came out and said that we're in contact with multiple races of aliens. I'm gonna put a cap on that because if we get any deeper into that, I'm just gonna keep fucking talking.
I'll ask appropriate pod ass pod question. If there is intelligent life out there, not intelligent, but you know what I mean, ETs. What's the first thing from our childhood that you will want them to watch that would explain like humanity? Like,
wow,
oh god,
that's a good question, dude. I would actually rearrange that. I'd be like, if I met an extraterrestrial, because your first interaction with this being needs to be something that shows friendship, but at the same time you want to show a bit of curiosity.
But you want to give them the human experience, if you could. Like, what's the one show, comic, anything that you can think of? It doesn't have to be retro from our childhood, but it can be anything. Like, what's the show? What's the thing?
Yeah. That's a good question. Because you know what, man? Like, you don't want to show them something violent, because if you do that, it kind of. Oof, that's a good question.
That's the world,
man.
though.
I know the one thing I would not show them is any Jeffrey Dunham special.
Oh god, yeah.
Why not?
Because they will want to fucking kill us.
Jeff Fox.
That's
worthy.
They'll be like, fuck that shit. Stupid asshole
Tool
with the
time?
puppets.
You don't want Tool time?
Tim the Toolman Taylor. Y'all
what is this? We're going to incinerate all you sons of bitches.
Would it be a documentary? Would it be like, I don't know.
You know what? I think you need to show them
The Watchmen.
What makes humanity good. Because that's the problem, man. Like,
well, you don't want. Oh shit! You selling them a lemon? You're selling them a lemon then if you're gonna do that. Like,
no. I'm not selling them a lemon because there are some redeeming qualities.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying that you want to show them both the pros and the cons. To give them a fair shake, because I've always thought about that too. Like, what if?
Would it be the Bible? Nah, that's too far. I don't want to.
No. I mean, because,
maybe Superman.
Cause
like you still believe in this bullshit.
Because here's the thing about faith and religion. I mean, that's fluid depending on where you're at.
Exactly.
So I mean, you don't want to really do that, because that's the problem with today's society. So many people believe that their religion is right, rather than just accepting.
Maybe that's too deep for this podcast. Never mind.
Jesus Christ was a psychedelic mushroom.
Yeah, even music. Like, well, what kind of what songs would I like? Hey, man, listen. E.T., listen to this. I don't know.
Anything that encompasses, what America is all together and what we symbolize. And the only thing that I can think of is the movie Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, all right. Yeah. I was gonna go music, maybe Radiohead. Like that's a good start.
Well, you're going too alien with it.
Beatles.
You could.
They sent those songs out in space. Did you know that?
Yeah, they sent the golden disc. They sent those golden discs out there with the symbol for man, symbol for woman. Some mathematical.
What about Kiss from the Kiss? What is it? Kiss on the Rose from the grave.
Kiss from a Rose, Seal?
Kiss from a Rose, yeah, Seal.
Yeah.
Kiss from a rose on the grave. There we go. That's
I don't know,
it.
man.
That encompasses
Those
America.
got to be some very manic, depressive aliens.
I would. Fuck it, man. The human experience probably the best way is through music. Because there's always...
This is one song I can get my dick wet to.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I've always thought that they've always... It's been my belief that... I don't know how we got on this one.
That was me. It was my fault.
It's always been my belief that we do have aliens that exist. But they just like, I'm not touching that backwater swamp of Earth. Like, I just feel like that. I've always felt that way. Like, they've been observing. They see how we do each other. They're just like, fuck this.
What
like,
do
I'm
the
not
monoliths have
to
anything to do with it? Are they setting
It's
up Wi-Fi?
It's an artist.
It's
an
an
artist.
It's it is an art.
I thought they were setting up Wi-Fi.
Expression.
Setting Wi-Fi.
Alien Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because the guy, I was listening to a radio, and the one guy was like, there's no way that an artist did that. And his counterpart was saying the boats say made in the USA. So,
Yep. Yeah.
It's
the motherfucker. The thing is fucking, it's got 2 rivets in it. The guy that saw it, like, they went out there to look at it when they first, UT officials posted something about it. People went out there. They found it. There's 2 rivets on the top of the monolith. And it's like, it's a rivet.
Yeah,
it's nothing like sealed, and then the other ones that they found are welded together really haphazardly.
It's not like that. You know, aliens stopped at Ace Hardware and was like, "Hey, we need to grab a couple of these."
Yeah,
the Home Depot song playing in their UFO.
Maybe they own Home Depot. I don't know, but we talked about Liquid TV. If those shows were rebooted, would they be as impactful as they were back then?
I don't think so.
Absolutely not, because who's your grunge crowd now?
Yep.
I mean, who are everybody?
Actually, these young people. I mean, these kids nowadays, man. I think it would appeal to them. I really would.
I don't know, man. Like,
the kids don't even watch TV anymore. They don't.
I don't want to say that kids are a monolith, but based off what I've seen so far, it's hard to tell one from the other, man. Like, because everybody wants to.
It's YouTube videos, 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
TikTok.
They don't have enough. They don't have enough attention for a story.
Yep.
Like to establish a story.
I have a teenager I live with. She doesn't watch TV at all. It's not because we're not telling her to, but she doesn't.
Look at TikTok.
She doesn't want a TV.
TikTok is what? 24 seconds or something like that? You got to do whatever you need to do within a lot of amount of seconds. It's like, it's funny for a little bit, but man, when you're watching videos like that nonstop, you're training your attention span not to be able to keep up. Like, read a book, like, it's just, you don't get that.
Do people read anymore?
Some do.
I do. I like to read, man.
Young people?
I like to buy books and just let them
It's something about turning the page, man. It's something about turning the page.
Did kids read when we were younger? Because I was thinking, like, what's one thing you like or watch as a kid that other kids hated? And I was like, damn, well, comics, I guess. Not a lot of kids that I grew up with read comics.
That was the same thing. I loved comics. A lot of kids that I knew made fun of kids that got comics, which I never understood that, because now they are popular, but it's the characters are popular. The written word doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, anymore. Man. And it's a good thing you brought that up, because I get Comic Rant. Like, I watch or read the articles on Comic Rant, and the evolution of these characters are astounding, because one of my favorite characters from Marvel is Ben Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. Like, he's probably one of my favorite characters. The reason why is because when I was growing up, I had acne really, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, I was very self-conscious about it. And my mom was like, oh, you'll get over it. You know, it's just a part of growing up. So, you know, I was very self-conscious. But when I would read The Thing and how he had this craggy skin and it was orange and, you know, he did the things that he would do. I mean, you know, I was like, man, you know, I can get behind that. You know, I didn't really know much about Deadpool at that time, but I did know a lot about The Thing because I was always fascinated with him. You know, out of the Fantastic Four, he's probably one of the most charismatic next to Johnny, but he's not human looking. So, you know, he gets treated a certain kind of way. They just adopted Thing to another transformation where his craggy form was actually a shell, and he could have broke that shell at any time. I was like, oh my God, that is fantastic. So what happened is the shell breaks and he turns into like pretty much a form of Wonder Man at that point. Like, he's human, but he has like these Wonder Man powers. And it's just crazy where that went, you know, like
when did that happen?
I read this like maybe a month ago. So they just added it.
I remember he got into a fight with Wolverine, and when Wolverine slashed him, so I don't know if they changed it, but when Wolverine slashed him in the face, he had lava pouring out.
Yeah, so then I'm looking now to see when it came out. But it was so cool, man. Like, his shell broke off and he became like purple. Like, he had this purple light emanating from him. So it came out October 21st. In the Ultimate Marvel Universe, Ben Grimm becoming the Thing was only part of his transformation into a greater, more powerful final form. So this is, I'll show you briefly if you guys can see that. So he breaks out of that and he turns into this purple being. So so that's that. And it tells you here, like, his orange skin was revealed to be a cocoon preparing him for his powerful final form. And in this final form, he can go toe-to-toe with, like, almost any Marvel superhero at that point. He has incredible strength at that point. Like, it goes beyond what he was as the Thing.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah. Because they were talking about his kid, too. You know, his kid has the Thing. His kid is going to stay Rocky because that's what he was born as. So, and his kid loves being orange like that. So.
Well, to get onto transformations as well, to segue back into Liquid TV, the head was another one, and I got some info on this. It was animated series by Eric Fogel. Do you know, or do you guys know who Eric Fogel is?
No.
I've heard of him. I can't think of.
It was oh God. Well, I had it in my head for a second. Dang, what was his name again? He did Celebrity Deathmatch was the big one.
Oh yeah. That was a good series.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But this was his first one. This show was actually on before the Max. It lasted 94 to 96. It was a little bit after Liquid TV was kind of finished. I know they were doing syndication and whatnot, but more or less about a guy that has a demon. I believe it's a demon.
It's either
or it could have been an
alien. Yeah.
That lived inside his head. And they basically, it was a little purple alien. He had a weird sense of humor, and he was able to adapt. The alien was able to adapt in his head.
Yeah.
The whole reason why he was a landscaper who had a lawnmower blade lodged in his skull, and he was always after a beautiful woman named Morty. You know, the typical thing. The alien got in there.
Yeah. I was just reading Eric. Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. He has some pretty good credits to his name, Eric Fogel. So he directed Daria, Cartoon Sushi, Celebrity Deathmatch. He creator, director, writer from '98 to 2002. Which, by the way, my favorite episode of that one was Dolly Parton versus Jennifer Lopez.
Who won?
That was wild, man. The TNA deathmatch. So that was that one. And then he lost me at Descendants, Wicked World. I don't like Disney teen movies. I'm sorry.
He did fan. That?
Yeah. He directed 15 episodes of Descendants, Wicked World. He lost me at that one. Like I despise Descendants.
Well, it seemed like these guys, Mike Judge came out of this group too.
Yeah.
They were doing all these cartoons, and some made it, some didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he did Descendants. I know Mike Judge is still doing cartoons. He did King of the Hill. Yeah. I think he's got a couple other ones coming out.
Who's your favorite character on King of the Hill?
You know what? I didn't actually watch it all that often.
No, really?
But I'd have to say Bobby.
Bobby?
I thought he was hilarious. Or Bill. I think it was Bill.
Yeah, I like Bill. I like him. And Mike Judge created probably one of the best horror movies of all time, Idiocracy.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I saw that this year for the first time.
Absolutely terrifying movie.
Yeah, we came pretty close to that, but now we're back to the same old, crooked shit. It's crooked all over.
Yeah, it's getting ready to. Dude, these. I don't want to get into that right now, but man, it looks wild right now. Like what we're seeing right now is almost like a plot of a movie. Like with Gene Hackman.
Whatever happened to Gene Hackman? Did he retire?
Hackman starring in something like this right now.
Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Where is Gene? Is he?
No, well, just to touch on that, like you talk to a lot of young people right now.
Yeah.
And they have much different political views than we did at any point, and very hard left or very hard right.
Did we have views?
And both are dealing in fascism, and the other is dealing in communism. Which I'm more left than anything else, but that's just
me. I mean, listen, man. Did we lose Don?
Did we? I don't know.
Don's there.
Did we lose? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see you on my phone at all. So.
Oh wait, we can't hear him. I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
I can't hear him either.
You can't hear me?
I would say this. I'm of the belief that everybody comes from a different walk of life. In that walk of life, there are views and things that they pick up along the way. I'm not expecting to change your mind, but I am hoping that we can have a conversation. That's all I ask, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not expecting somebody from the mountains of West Virginia to follow what I do in Detroit and vice versa. But I do want to understand why they feel the way they feel. And if you eliminate people to speaking like that, they're going to make their own platform where they'll get this misinformation over and over again. And boom, there you go. So that's
all right.
that.
Yeah. Well, I wish, like we've had a couple malfunctions today when it comes to this. We're kicking off the rust because we haven't done this in a few weeks because of how sick I was.
Yeah. Finals, baby.
But right now, for some reason, I'm just like, that the camera but yeah, so
can you guys see me?
We probably
hear me.
Hey, we got you back.
Oh shit, okay.
Oh shit,
I've heard everything you guys said, but
hey, before we, because it's almost that time.
Yeah, and we'll cut it short.
But I need to say this. I want to say this because if this episode gets posted, I want to go on record saying this right damn now. Fuck you, Apple, for those AirPod Max Pros. Fuck you.
Can we just air grievances for the next 5 minutes? That'd be.
I don't give a shit. That's fine.
I just want to say, I like your products to a point, but to come out with headphones that damn near cost $1,000.
Oh my God.
That aren't waterproof, that aren't sweat-proof, just for the experience of saying, "Oh, these are Apple." Fuck you. That's ridiculous. I
didn't even know they had headphones. Shit.
They just released them. Because they bought the Beats by Dre brand.
Oh yeah.
And then they have their own brand of in-ear pods and all that stuff, and then you have the AirPod Maxes, which are for working out. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, they released their very own over-the-ear, like what I'm wearing right now, brand of Apple, $549 for those.
Damn.
Fuck
yeah. Yeah,
damn.
I was just like, unreal. And my thing is that they're like, well, it's for the experience of being able to listen. It'll give you a different audio experience. I'm like, unless I can hear the future when I hear those things, hell no. That's unreal. That's unreal. And I like, don't get me wrong, I like Apple products, but $549 for that? That's damn near tuition.
My whole thing is, the way I look at it is like, if they're that much, the only way I'm gonna pay for it is if it can suck my dick.
Yes!
Every fucking night.
We're all in agreement with that.
Hey,
they need to reboot that shit, man.
I was reading the reviews because a lot of people instantly panned them, and one guy was like, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you with my new AirPod Maxes on. It tunes out poor people."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because they're so, like, and I was telling my buddy the other day, I said, you know what's funny about that? You're gonna wear those somewhere, and you're gonna be out, and somebody's gonna see you with them, and they're gonna instantly think you have money, automatically, because, and then the case that it comes in looks like a purse. They come in a case that looks like a purse, legitimate purse.
Jesus.
I was just like, oh, Apple.
I don't want to give them more advertisement than they already got, but
we're not getting paid by them.
I'm curious, John, off air, of what the perks is for that shit, because I bought basically the same thing like months ago. They didn't cost that much though, but I don't see the worth. But whatever.
But Apple, if you want to buy some airtime,
I know that's right.
Contact me at afterschoolspecial@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you want to prove me wrong, send me a free pair.
They need to reboot that shit. If it's you said it's not acting really, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, John. Like
no. I'm just saying that they were released, and the thing that really turned me off to them was not only the price, but the functionality. Like, most people, when they get headphones, they're not just getting them just for the movies. They're getting them either to go running or go working out. Mm-hmm. And they're not waterproof or sweatproof. I looked at the tech specs. They don't say anything about that. The ear cups are magnetic, so you can take those off and switch them out for another pair of ear cups that cost $69. I was just like, you know what, man, I'm in the wrong line of work.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, I just got news. Hayden Christensen returns as Darth Vader, joining Ewan McGregor in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No!
The original series begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Revenge of the Sith and is coming to Disney+.
Of course.
I have so many mixed emotions about that. I'm not a huge...
They just announced, too, Ahsoka. They're doing an Ahsoka Tano show. I don't know if you guys knew.
Yeah, I saw.
This is all being announced real time right now.
Okay. See, look, guys, I'm not the hugest Star Wars fan, so all of this stuff is still foreign to me. I love Mandalorian. Love it.
Yeah.
If you guys saw the last episode, no spoilers here.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well, there was a character that I thought was dead, and motherfucker isn't dead, and I had to have people.
Well, I already know the girl from Clone Wars.
See, I never watched that show.
She was introduced in Mandalorian,
but I saw it as like a on the commercials. I've seen that character before.
Yeah.
I like the actress who plays this person, but
yeah,
I love it. I'm a big fan now.
You know what, man? Let's wrap up the show because I need to go pick my boy up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I can give you guys my opinion off air because I'm pretty sure people are going to be mad at what I got.
All right, guys. Well, that's another episode in the poop shoot. And also, real quick, John, I know you're probably a fan of this. Don, you probably haven't seen this. Willow series.
Oh, really?
Yep, they just announced it. Warwick Davis is going to reprise his role as Willow.
Willow Smith?
Nope, not even close.
No.
All right, well, you son
rock
of a
my hair
bitch,
back and
Don.
forth.
What the fuck?
Not that one?
You're a loser.
Nope.
That's
Loser.
an upset.
Oh,
Okay.
man. I mean,
All right, guys.
All right. Well, all right.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Bye.
Oh, my God.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
All
ladies
right.
and gents. We hope you enjoyed the Pandemic Journals. We hope to be releasing more of these. Let us know what you think. Find new episodes every Wednesday where you listen to podcasts. And look for us on all the social media sites and Gmail at Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Gmail, Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Instagram and Facebook, and AfterschoolSPE3 on Twitter. Rate and subscribe. Or, I don't know, we could have a sitcom about Hillary Clinton's dick.